time I see her on TV, I want to reach through and strangle her. You know, I know that doesn't sound very nice, but... And
I wouldn't mess with you.
There you go. Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina speaking out for the first time since Hillary Clinton came under fire for laughing, as you saw there, when his supporters said he wanted to strangle the former Hewlett-Packard CEO. Here's Fiorina on O'Reilly Factor.
You know, I don't take umbrage with him. I don't even take umbrage with Mrs. Clinton. I do take umbrage with the clear double standard that exists in the media. I mean, if this had happened with a conservative candidate, the liberal media would be all over us to correct him, to apologize, and all the rest of it.
Damn media, it's always our fault. Senator, let me start with you, because this is New Hampshire.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? I mean, you've been out on the campaign trail. How would you have responded? She's in front of a crowd of her supporters. Do you want to correct and cut down your own supporters? What do you do?
It's happened to me many
Where somebody said they want to strangle the other person?
Somebody says, yeah, Obama's a Muslim, he's a birther, he's this, he's that. I said, with all respect, he's not. I don't agree with him. He's a good family man, but he's wrong. You have to correct him. And the fact, and she is absolutely right. Carly's absolutely right. If that happened the other way around, it would have been all hell breaking loose. And the fact that she didn't say, sir, with respect, I appreciate, you know, I understand what you're saying. I get a little frustrated with her, too. But she's a presidential candidate. She's running for president. And the fact that you want to strangle her is really inappropriate. Thank you for your question, though. Next.
Ebac, what do you think of Carly's spin on this one? That it's, you know, she kind of gave them a pass. She gave Hillary a pass, and she said, you know, the media, it's kind of always our fault. Everything's our fault. We're an easy target.
Well, I actually do think she's right. I mean, it's unseemly what this gentleman said, and you know, I just think that it also speaks to the footnote you could have given here was that, you know, if we're about being breaking partisan gridlock, and that's what Hillary Clinton is sort of campaigning on, that she'll do deals in the Congress, but then she's still attacking Republicans in such a low manner, or accepting attacks like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you get tired on the campaign trail, you just let things fly and let things pass, but this is about a man choking a woman. I think it was out of line, way out of line.
Well, dare I ask, are we being too sensitive? I mean, this is somebody who was laid off from the company. He says it's not like he said he was going to stab her, he's going to shoot her. I mean, that's one of those phrases, I'd like to strangle you. You know,
I think in particular, coming from somebody who was upset because he was laid off from the company, that it's troubling.
Ding, 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 ding.
But I will say this,
in
terms of, you know, holding people accountable and how Carly Fiorina has handled it, one of the things that gets her so many points with people is the fact that she doesn't play victim. Right. You know, that she accepts that she's in the arena. So I'm not surprised that she wouldn't look, not to deflect, but to take some of the air out of that balloon and say, you know what, wasn't right, but I'm not looking, she's said it many times, she's not looking for an apology. I mean, she said that to the women of The View. I mean, she's been attacked before. This isn't her first rodeo, so to speak. But what people have said they like about her is she can be strong. She doesn't have to play the victim.
Right. In fact, they love to seize this opportunity, and it gave her, I mean, there she was on the O'Reilly Factor responding to it.
Right. So I think that's the conflict going on behind the scenes, is that Carly Fiorina isn't a whiner. She's not a professional victim like Hillary Clinton. She knows that, isn't it weird? An employee that was fired from HP just happens to be in the audience of Hillary's event.
And
isn't it odd how that happens? What a coincidence.
Ask a question.
So I think what's happening is Carly Fiorina knows that if she speaks out and she makes this an issue, she's going to get ink. She's going to get some earned media on it, which is tempting. But she doesn't want to look like the victim. She also knows there's a double standard. I applaud her. I applaud her for coming out. You know, sometimes you reach a point where you go, you know what, my inclination is to ignore this because I'm not a victim and there is a double standard, but I'm not a whiner or a complainer. And sometimes, you know what, you just stand up and you go, I'm going to stick it right in their face, because Hillary is not a girl's girl. She's a gutter girl, and it's time that someone called her out on it. So good for her.
Well, and the media are fairly, we're an easy target, and we don't have to. It wasn't like they called anybody by name, so I think, unfortunately,
that is a great point about what that one man was doing there, though, because that's New Hampshire. You know, HP, obviously they have offices everywhere, but I mean, like, this was a Southern California, Northern California-based company. There he was in New Hampshire.
There are no coincidences in politics.
All of her events are very scripted. They have to check IDs. She frisked the Secretary of State. They frisked the Secretary of State when they went in to file their papers.
By the way, American capitalists are so greedy when 60% of U.S. households get more in the way of government benefits than they pay in the system in taxes. That's from the nonpartisan CBO.
There you go.